Welcome to the Explainer. Right now, small and medium-sized businesses are facing an absolute tidal wave of impending AI regulations. And let's be real, while AI has transformed from this cool novelty into an absolute bedrock business tool, regulators are just frantically scrambling to keep up. But here's the catch. The rules? Yeah, they're basically being written for the massive tech titans. If you're running a smaller team, a startup, or a lean public entity, staring down these massive, hyper-complex compliance mandates is, well, it's completely overwhelming. But don't stress. We are going to take that regulatory chaos and flip it into a totally actionable strategy using the latest research. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to cover the AI compliance asymmetry, compare the NIST RMF to ISO 42001, look at minimum viable AI governance, walk through a lean NIST checklist, and wrap up with smart human oversight. All right, jumping right into Section 1, the AI compliance asymmetry. So, we really need to talk about this whole David versus Goliath reality of AI compliance. If you've been feeling like the system is totally stacked against you, honestly, the research 100% validates your frustration. A major review published in MDPI perfectly coined this problem as compliance asymmetry. What does that mean? Well, it's basically the structural reality where regulations, like the EU AI Act, literally expect under-resourced small teams to pull off the exact same complex AI governance as multinational tech giants. It's crazy, right? These formal rules demand that you retain extensive logs, implement strict oversight, and document risks, usually without you even having access to the internal model architecture, let alone the army of specialized lawyers that the big guys have. Now, you might be thinking, hey, I'll just grab one of those simplified, accessible checklists online, like Alt-I, and call it a day. But wait, what's really interesting here is a staggering vulnerability the research uncovered. Those accessible frameworks, they actually overlook 69% of known AI security vulnerabilities for low-capacity actors. 69%. That's massive. So while these soft law guides are great for promoting ethical values, they fall dangerously short of actually giving you an auditable, secure pathway to real compliance. Actually, this quote from the MDPI research hits the nail right on the head. They state static, audit-heavy models impose a disproportionate burden on SMEs, creating barriers to entry even for actors committed to compliance. I mean, they get it. We completely understand that traditional one-size-fits-all approaches are literally crushing small teams. It's not that smaller businesses don't care about ethics or compliance, of course you do. It's just that the path to get there absolutely has to be adapted to your actual real-world constraints. Moving on to Section 2, NIST RMF versus ISO 42001. So, how exactly do we adapt? Well, let's look at the stark contrast between the two major globally recognized frameworks out there right now. On one side, you've got ISO 42001. It's a great standard, sure, but it is heavily audit-oriented, incredibly rigid, and just massively resource-intensive. For an SME, trying to bend your current management processes to fit ISO 42001 usually just flat-out fails because you just don't have the technical and human bandwidth. But on the flip side, we have the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, or RMF. This one is voluntary, outcome-focused, and incredibly adaptable. Honestly, it's a pragmatic, flexible lifesaver for startups. The huge takeaway I want you to grab here is that the NIST AI RMF isn't some heavy regulatory anchor dragging you down. It is a highly customizable tool for survival and agile iteration. Because it's voluntary and flexible, it lets small teams actually right-size their efforts. You can roll it out iteratively, growing your governance as your company's maturity and risk exposure naturally grow, completely avoiding the trap of immediate, full-spectrum, crazy expensive audits. All right, Section 3, Minimum Viable AI Governance. This brings us to the absolute core strategic solution for resource-constrained teams navigating all this. Pulling from some fantastic insights by ModelOp, we look at the idea of minimum viable governance, or MVG. The crucial point is that MVG completely shifts the narrative from doing literally everything to doing what actually matters most. It's all about finding that sweet spot. It breaks down into 3 core facets. First, establish a governance inventory so you actually have a clear line of sight into all AI usage across your company. Second, apply lightweight controls to handle verification without suddenly bottlenecking all your innovation. And third, implement streamlined reporting to keep everything transparent. It's about building a defensible baseline of obligations. Okay, let's get practical with Section 4, the Lean NIST checklist. Let's move from high-level theory down to the real world with a highly actionable, step-by-step manual specifically built for low-capacity teams. The NIST AI-RMF is anchored by 4 core functions that run in a continuous loop throughout an AI system's lifecycle. First up is govern. That's your foundation, setting policies and a culture of risk management. Then comes map, where you nail down the specific context and risks of the AI. Next is measure, where you're actively analyzing and tracking those risks. And finally, manage, which is where you take action to prioritize and actually respond to what you found. So, how do we do this without burning out the team? Here is your lean survival roadmap. Step 1, under govern, form an interdisciplinary microteam. Remember, AI risk is absolutely not just an IT issue. Pull in someone from legal, ops, maybe compliance. Step 2, under map, catalog every AI system in an inventory. Simply put, you cannot govern what you don't even know exists. Write down your data sources and exactly what decisions that AI is making. And step 3, under measure and manage, adopt a test-first approach. Before you let a shiny new AI workflow loose in the wild, sandbox it. Put it on a probationary period and watch its behavior closely before you let it automate anything critical. These are super low effort but incredibly high impact tasks. But, and this is a big but, as you roll these steps out, you've got to watch out for the classic SME bottlenecks. The folks over at Strata.io had a great warning about the dangers of unpracticed teamwork. Without real discipline, your handoffs get sloppy, and nobody knows how to escalate a problem. Think of these gaps like holes in a slice of Swiss cheese. When those holes accidentally line up across multiple layers of your defense, boom, catastrophic AI errors slip right through. You really have to treat AI as a living, breathing system that changes with new data, not just some deploy and forget piece of software. Which perfectly tees up Section 5, Smart Human Oversight. Finally, let's tackle what is hands down the most resource-draining aspect of AI compliance for small businesses, keeping a human in the loop. To overcome this bottleneck, you have to use what the NIST framework calls proportional oversight. Because look, if your micro team tries to manually review every single little thing the AI does, you are going to drown in totally reversible trivia. And worse, you'll probably miss the irreversible, critical mistakes. Human involvement literally has to be right-sized based on the AI's potential impact if you want to build an operation that actually sustains itself.
Let's look at a super concrete example using Contract AI, drawing from a guide by Sirion. It's all about balancing automation with human judgment. Low-stakes processes, say basic clause extraction, let the AI handle that autonomously. Moderate tasks, like obligation mapping, well, maybe you use the AI alongside a human in the loop, just to double-check things. But high liability stuff, like final legal approvals, absolutely no way. Those must be human-led, with the AI just sitting in the passenger seat, assisting. By matching how intensely you monitor something to its actual business impact, you protect your company without losing the insane efficiency gains AI gives you in the first place. And you know, this oversight only really works if you're measuring it. To prove your compliance and to catch things like AI model drift before it becomes a disaster, your lightweight governance system needs to track a few specific metrics. You want to look at review turnaround time. Monitor your human override frequency, because if humans are constantly overriding the AI, the model is clearly failing. Track your false positive and negative rates. And finally, measure the overall risk reduction. Keeping a solid log of these metrics gives you that verifiable history that auditors and regulators are always hunting for. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. Are you governing your AI, or is compliance governing you? By understanding the reality of compliance asymmetry, adopting the super flexible NIST AI RMF, leaning into minimum viable governance, and setting up smart proportional human oversight, you can totally flip the script. AI compliance doesn't have to be this defensive, soul-crushing chore. It can genuinely become a competitive advantage that builds trust with your clients and lets your agile team innovate safely and quickly. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.